All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's webinar. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. In today's video, I want to take a look at Bitcoin. I'm going to give you my thoughts on Bitcoin. I'm going to check out this current setup that we are in, and we're just going to do a scan of the crypto market, look at Bitcoin and altcoins. And if we have some time at the end of the webinar, we will go through some Forex settings for the beginning of next week. All right, so let's just jump into the shop. But first, we have a quick word from our sponsors.
PrimeXBT is the most powerful trading platform offering immediate access to over 30 assets. Trade cryptocurrencies, Forex, commodities, stock indices, and much more, all from a single Bitcoin settled account. Visit the link below and start trading on PrimeXBT in minutes.
Birb Network is an interoperable DeFi ecosystem offering token pre-sales, staking as a service, project incubation, and much more. Visit thebirbnest.com/Birb. Globe is a crypto derivatives exchange offering up to 100 times leverage on crypto and DeFi perpetual contracts with Bitcoin collateral. Sign up today at thebirbnest.com/Globe. Radix is the first Layer 1 protocol built specifically to serve DeFi. More information at thebirbnest.com/Radix. YFDAI is democratizing finance by creating the most secure, transparent, and user-friendly ecosystem of DeFi products. To learn more, visit thebirbnest.com/YFDAI.
All right. Welcome, guys. So let me know if there's any issues with the audio or the quality of the video. Just let me know, and I will try to fix that. I had some problem with my microphone, so if you have any issue with the sound, just let me know. So before we go into the shot, let me first please ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're on Twitter watching this, you can retweet this tweet. That would be very much helpful. All right. So as you guys know, we went long in the Birb Nest. We went long on Bitcoin here on this low time frame break and retest of this green box, the buy zone right here at around 34.5. So we went long here and we took profit at the range EQ up here. And because of the fact that we had a nice lower high, I mean, I'm pretty much viewing this as, you know, a higher low, right? So swing low, a higher low, right? So because we had that, we decided to move our stops just above that one to kind of secure the position and keep this being a winning trade and not give too much back to the market. So first, I recommended that we should keep our stop loss at the original position, but that was when we were trading. Let me use the replay function here and I can show you guys, right? So we had this move right here. We entered on that one, and when we hit TP1 here, I told you guys that we should keep the stop loss at the original position, because at this point right here, it seemed quite likely that we might have gotten a move like that, right? But we then created a swing pattern or a swing low, higher low right here. And if the trend is going to continue, I'm thinking we're going to get something like that, right? So we're going to move the stop loss to below the wicks of that swing low, that higher low. And what have happened now is we have gotten stopped out on this one, which put this trade as at a small winner. And what I'm watching right now, I am going to copy this shot. Just give me a minute, and I'm going to write BTC long the Birb Nest, right? Just to make sure that I have this this saved. I can now start removing some stuff here. Right, so looking at the daily here for Bitcoin, let's add the moving averages. So you see this trend line right here. We have a trend line area right here. We came up and touched that trend line area confluent with this is the daily 20 EMA. Right, so we came up, we touched that trend line area, and we also touched the daily 20 EMA. We got rejected by the daily 20 EMA, that trend line, and the monthly open and range EQ. And also looking at this local trend right here, it's a local downtrend, call it whatever you want, a descending triangle, descending wedge or channel. I mean, you could draw this in so many different ways, but the bottom line is that you have lower highs. And if you kind of ignore these wicks right here, you have, if you look at the overall structure, it's definitely a structure going down, you know? So overall, the market structure, like the local market structure and the bigger market structure, and I'm talking about this as the local market structure, and then I'm kind of talking about this as the bigger market structure. We are definitely in a bearish market structure. However, if you look at the weekly, like the higher time frames, right? If you look at the weekly and you add the moving averages on the weekly, you will see that we had a beautiful bounce right here on the 50% fib, and this fib is actually measured from this very low where the bull market kind of started, right? So you had the COVID crash right here. You had that nice V recovery after the COVID crash, and that kind of started this major bull run up to 65K. So I've measured this whole move using the fib from that low to this high, and that brings in the 50% level right here. And the fact that the 50% level is confluent with a pretty nice support level and the weekly 50 EMA really makes me think that the probability of this being the bottom is from a technical perspective, just looking at these few parameters or indicators, whatever you want to call it, is definitely, I think the probability is quite high, right? It just looks very good. And of course you have the 30K areas. If you're a position trader or a high time frame swing trader, you might want to just put a big fat support area right here, right? Now the problem I'm having, black screen. Are you guys having a black screen? I don't think so. You're watching on YouTube most likely, and probably that's just you. So restart reload the browser. Anyway, so the problem I'm having with this, right? There is obviously a potential, like a big fat support area right here on the higher time frames. And then we have the long RLC below. So what I'm thinking is, if we are going to see a continuation of this bull market, we should see something like this, where we make our way up through this local current range, break above range highs, and in a couple of weeks, if we stay in this range, in a couple of weeks, this yellow weekly 20 EMA will be confluent with the 0382 and the range high area, right? It's going to add some very, very strong confluence to the range high as resistance. And because of the fact that it will add confluence to the range high as resistance, it's also going to add confluence to that area as support once broken, right? So a very strong resistance will also most likely act as a very strong support once broken. So the more a resistance level gets tested, the more it gets tested, the weaker it becomes. But at the same time, it becomes stronger as support, right? So if you have you break resistance to the downside, the first retest will be strong, the second strong, the third less strong, and then the fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever is going to be get weaker and weaker and weaker. But the more that resistance level gets touched, the stronger it becomes as support. And when you have strong confluence, like the weekly 20 EMA in that resistance, when you break up, the probability of a bounce on the first rounded retest is very high, right? So I'm thinking, if we do work our way through this range to the upside, reclaim that trend line, break and retest range high, I believe that is how it's going to play out if this is the high time frame bottom. However, if we lose the weekly 50 EMA, we lose the 30K area, I definitely say we are in a pretty bearish market overall, and I would be looking at a market reversal somewhere inside this long RLC. Now this zone right here is very, very wide. It's all the way from 17K all the way up to 27k, right? So it's a very wide area, so I can't really predict where the bounce is going to happen. Usually it happens somewhere in the middle, somewhere around the middle of the long RLC, but we are just going to wait and see what happens when price comes down here, right? Even if we do break and retest the range high for Bitcoin, there's still the possibility that the rejection at 50k will be the start of another bigger down move in a bear market, right? So you have the general trend kind of going like this, right? It looks better on the daily, but this is the general uptrend. You break market structure here, massive dump, you might get a move like this. And if you get rejected, like if you do get rejected at the 50k area, you are still in a downtrend with lower lows and lower highs, right? So you're still on a massive downtrend. So even if you do break and retest range high, the bear market could still be on, right? So it's all about trying to judge price action by the closest levels. So if we break and retest the 42k area or the 41 to 42k area, I will go long up to 50k, but I will take most of my profits at 50k because the probability of 50k being used as resistance is very high, right? Because it's the first retest of a major resistance area, it will most likely get rejected at that area, right? So I will, if I go long here, I will take most of my profits, if not 100% profit, and exit fully at the 50k area, and I will wait to enter again on either a confirmed bounce down at this area where we broke, or a reclaim of the 50k area once again. So I expect the move to look something like this. This would be the bullish scenario, right? This is the bullish scenario. And this would then be the bearish scenario, right? So the bearish scenario is you break out here and you get rejected here and you fall straight through, and that was, that is going to be the beginning of the major bear market most likely if this happens. And then the bullish case would be, breakout, maybe try to get in on a low time for break and retest, but or just buy the breakout, sell here, then buy back here, or buy back on a break and retest up here. So that's my plan for what to do with Bitcoin above 40k, right? So that's the plan for Bitcoin above 40k. Now, my plan for Bitcoin at the current prices, we have to go down into the 4 hour to check the 4 hour, because I think the lower time frames are where we should be looking at a potential setup in the next couple of days, and we can't really judge the higher time frames for that because there's no, I don't think there's not a lot of clear levels on the daily. The 4 hour is much cleaner because we are inside this range, and because of the fact that we are inside this range, we should play it as a range play, right? And the first thing that kind of comes to mind is a long at range lows, and kind of just repeat the same setup that we have been looking at, right? Now, because of the fact that basically every time frame except the weekly, and you could definitely argue that the weekly is bearish as well. So pretty much all time frames except the weekly is bearish. So you have, a downtrend on the 4 hour. The hourly obviously is not looking that beautiful. The daily is definitely not looking very good. And so the 1 hour, 4 hour daily is bearish. The weekly is, I guess, neutral to bearish. So because of the fact that you're going long here, you might be kind of trading against the local trend, which is it's going to add some risk, right? So what you're supposed to look for here is a confirmed bounce at range low. So the setup would look something like this, right? Probably. Let's see. Yeah, so I would again take profit at, it would just be the same profit taking areas basically. And something like this. This is the first idea of a long, right? So this is the first idea. Now the idea might shift and take other forms when the bounce actually happens. So what I'm looking for is when I'm saying, you know, wait for a confirmed bounce, I always have to show you like what is a bounce and how do you confirm a bounce. On the 4 hour, obviously that 4 hour bullish engulfing is a good indication of a bounce. That 4 hour bullish engulfing is a good indication of a bounce. And down here you get a bounce and you have a break in market structure on the lower time frames. So let's look at this structure on the hourly and 15 minutes to see if we can find a confirmation of a bounce on the 15 minute, right? So just scroll to the left here, see if I can find it. Right there. Right, so that's the level. So right here, I like when you have some type of downtrend right here, right? So we're looking at this, you know, lower highs and lower lows. We want to see some type of break in the market structure right here. I would probably go long somewhere here, right? With stops maybe, you know, below range low, something like that, because what you have here is a downtrend, right? And you then have some type of break in market structure here, right? So this kind of, you know, confirms the bottom for me. Now let's go to the 1 hour to see if we can find anything similar. And definitely, I think it's cleaner on the 15 minute actually. So the trade on the 15 minute, I would probably, then that would confirm the trade for me, and the trade would look like this. So it would be around 2R to range 1. 2R to range GQ and TP1, 3R to TP2, and then TP3 up here for 5R trade. So that would be how I kind of confirm the bounce in the bottom on that setup. And then you have the next bounce is this one. So if you look at the 15 minute on this one, let's see if we how would a confirmed bounce look on that one. See, that's going to be this one. So again, you have the, let's see, let's make sure it's not the same one. Yeah, so here you have on the 15 minute. Wait, is that the same one? Give me a second here. Yes, we're going to take a look at this one. It really annoys me that whenever I switch timeframes on TradingView, it goes back to the most right on the chart. Anyway, here's the second bounce, right? This one is a bit tricky. Let's go on the 1 hour. Yeah, I would probably go long here, where we have the double bottom. It would look something like this. It would be 2R up to TP1. TP2 would be 3.7R, and then 3PT to 5R. So that would be the setup, right? Now, that's what we're looking for on this, right? So we're on the 1 hour right now, and we have a beautiful, we have a pretty clear area right here. Let's first look at the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, I really like this level. So where the weekly 50 EMA is, right on that level, looks very good. So I would think that the bounce would happen and be concentrated somewhere around 33,500. So that's where I will be looking for a potential entry. And you see this stop loss right here is quite wide, and this is where I would have the stop loss is if I would be, using blind orders, right? So if I would just enter orders in here, hoping for a bounce, you need to have a wide stop to take into consideration, you know, if you have like a massive double bottom or just wicks coming down and taking at this zone below. So you want to have the stop loss below this whole structure right here, like this whole structure. But if you enter on a confirmed bounce, you have some pretty clear invalidation levels here as well, like that one. So if you do get a confirmed bounce, something like this, and this might be on the 15 minute where you kind of come down and you start moving like this, right? Well, you might want to enter on the break in market structure of that one and either have stop loss, like a very tight stop loss just below that wick, or below these two lows right here. So I think this would be the setup that I'm looking for. So I'm adding alerts right here on that, right above the 50% fib. And then I want another alert right up here to kind of alert me when if we go higher and retest the range EQ area again. All right, so that's Bitcoin, right? Now let's see if we can get any, we can see anything interesting in the altcoin market. And obviously I'm pretty sure that the altcoin market, it could be reversal from here, 35,000. Yes, of course. Of course, it could, but I don't think it is. But it could, right? What I'm thinking is we're right below important support and important resistance. So I don't know. I think we're going to head lower because that's such an obvious breakout area, and there's so many very clear levels down here. It feels like it's just that level hasn't really been retested properly. I do think it will act like some sort of magnet, right? Price will pull down into this area like it usually does when you have a clean, untested level. So let's look at BNB here. So we're just going to go through this green list. This is a green list I had, where I have some of the most interesting altcoins that I'm watching, right? Obviously, they're not that interesting anymore. What I'm thinking for BNB right here is, I mean, let's see. I mean, it's not looking too bad. I gotta add a level. Guess I gotta have to have a level here. And I mean, it's not looking too bad, right? You know, get higher highs and higher lows on the daily, so it's looking all right. Obviously, we're in some sort of range here, and what I'm thinking for BNB is if Bitcoin comes down and right, so if Bitcoin comes down and bounces at range lows, BNB will most likely come down and test that $300 area and probably bounce there as well. And it's a pretty clear range here on BNB, and I'm pretty sure that most altcoins versus USDT will look very similar. So my browser is lagging quite a lot, so I'm just going to continue talking while it fixes itself, hopefully. Right, so we're in, good. All right, so we're in this range for BNB right here, and most altcoins versus USDT will most likely be in a very similar range because Bitcoin is, right? And right now, altcoins are following Bitcoin very closely. So the range we're looking at on BNB would be something like this, right? Good morning, Michael. So that would be the range for BNB. So I would be looking at either a break and retest of range EQ for a move up to range high, right? That's the range EQ area. You know what? I can probably put that lower and this one higher, stuff like that. So we have two main ideas here, not here. Main ideas here. Bad lag. I don't know, man. I don't have any lag. My connection seems pretty good at the moment. Anyway, so option number one, buy the retest and bounce at 30k for a move up to range EQ and quite possibly range high, right? So that's what we're going to be looking at on BNB, and this won't work out if I'm gonna look at this. It's pretty much the same as Bitcoin, right? It's pretty much the same idea as Bitcoin, but honestly, I think BNB looks better here. Like BNB looks better. I don't know why, but BNB actually looks better because it's in a local uptrend. Bitcoin is a local downtrend, but it's basically the local market structure is very, very similar. So BNB won't move like this. This idea won't work out without Bitcoin actually letting it do so. Right? It's going to follow Bitcoin most likely. All right, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little that bell notification button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you should, because it's not always that like we're uploading videos and it's not always I'm gonna advertise it on Twitter and in the Discord server. So make sure you actually subscribe to the video. Are we getting a weekend pump? Like questions like this always makes me wonder. Like seriously, nobody knows if we're getting a weekend pump. Like nobody knows. And if you've been in the market for enough time, you know that that's not. I mean, it's not possible knowing that. It's just. I guess we have to wait and see and trade whatever is happening. Like we can't really predict if we're gonna get a pump or a dump. I do, however, think we're gonna get lower down to the 33.5 or something like that. Would be better holding BTC currently. Do right as BTC will out from alt for the time being. I don't know. I'm not holding Bitcoin. I'm not holding altcoins, right? I was in this trade, right? Or this trade, but I'm not holding an altcoins. The only altcoin that I'm holding is EXRD. This is the only altcoin I'm holding, and holy shit, am I glad I bought this long RLC. I don't know if you guys catch that tweet, and in the Birb Nest Discord, we have been talking about EXRD for quite some time, and from the long RLC, it's up 50%. So yeah, this is the only altcoin that I'm holding, and I'm not holding Bitcoin. I'm not holding any other altcoins, or not altcoins, but I'm not holding Bitcoin or any altcoins other than this one, because it just makes no sense to hold Bitcoin when it's just in a range in a bearish market structure. I'd rather be holding strength, right? I'd rather be buying strength. All right, so let's do some market. Let's do some short requests here. So we have AVAX, XRP, FTT, SEC. So without looking at the charts, I can tell you that they're like, I'm gonna check the USDT. Oh man, my neck really hurts. So I'm gonna be checking the USDT pairs, and without even looking at them, they're most likely going to look like Bitcoin. This kind of looks like a dead project. Would not touch this. However, looks like it might also be inside the RLC. No goddamn way. I'm not even gonna give you an idea on this one, because this is like, it looks dead. So what you have to do here is you need to wait for a proper break in market structure, right? Look for at least downtrend to break. Look for a break in market structure. So this needs to reclaim. That would be the setup, right? It needs to reclaim the $16 area. Without this reclaiming $16, I would not come close to this. Stay a long way from this one. XRP, fundamentally, I'd like to stay away from this one as well. But I mean, if it shows bullish market structure, it is what it is, right? So yeah, obviously, very strong support on the higher time frames in this area right here, and XRP has hit that one, but we keep testing it over and over again. If XRP breaks below this blue box right here, with the middle of that blue box being 0.75, it's not looking good. It's looking very, very bad. So what I would do if I were to look for a trade, like if I'm a holder of XRP, I would probably get out, and at least get out. If we break this area, I would definitely get out and then look for a bullish market structure. Like, I'm not a fan of buying shit that looks terrible on the chart, right? Like, look at EXRD, right? This is a bit different, right? Because you had a major daily W inside the long RLC, right? But if you look at XRP, for example, there's like, you know, it could have been like, if you had this, right? That's a daily W. But if you had that, definitely I would be a buyer. But we never really broke and retest that level. We just continued falling, and it looks like it's going to break down even further. And it most likely will break down if Bitcoin breaks down further. So be careful with this one. And I would wait for a break and retest of the $0.9 area right here. And it also kind of aligns with that horizontal as well. So that's what I'm looking at on XRP. Break and retest of 0.9. FTT, USDT, daily. Yeah, it's like, I mean, same thing here. Look for break and market structure. Break and retest 34. I will go long on this, and if break and retest 34. Will not be holding that one. Same thing here, exactly the same market structure. Break and retest of the 150 area, and I will go long. Will not hold this at all. Looks like shit. Sol. This, however, is showing a bit different market structure, because on the bigger local trend is actually up, right? So this is actually showing an interesting market structure. However, we have a double top and M structure right here, so that's obviously that's a top formation, right? So this could definitely, like, if this breaks down, and it most likely will if Bitcoin breaks down even further, but if we get a bounce here, I mean, this might actually be a, you know, interesting buying opportunity. God damn it. Like, I basically just woke up, so I'm all confused. I have a headache too, so I'm like, oh, god damn it. So I just want to, like, something very important, guys. Like, just because you see prices going down does not mean you're gonna get a discount on altcoins, right? Prices going down is not equal to good buying opportunities or a discount, right? Because when prices start going down, it might just continue down. So no, I'm going out for a run. I'm not gonna meditate. Like, I'm probably gonna meditate. Like, usually what I do, like, when I meditate before the trading sessions, right? And usually I'm all pumped up on Monday because the legacy market's opening, and I got a lot of more, you know, opportunities in the forex market on Monday. So I try to meditate before the trading session to kind of calm down, and not, because when I'm all pumped up and I'm all so excited and I'm all like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's make some money, I just make some stupid ass decisions. I'm just, you know, I'm the most impulsive idiot there is. So I need meditation to kind of, it's like a slap in the face like, don't be a retard, you know? So it's like, that's kind of like what I tell myself when I meditate. I'm sitting there and I'm like humming and I'm like, don't be a retard, something like that. And it actually works. It actually works. Keeps you grounded. Otherwise, the market is just gonna slap you around anyway. Like, the market always finds a way to fuck you anyway. So it's like, you gotta calm down and just observe. Let the market tell you whatever it needs to tell you. If you go into the market with the mindset that I'm like, I'm gonna own you, right? I'm just gonna make a lot of money. I'm just gonna completely own you. Well, the market always finds a way to the market finds a way to basically screw you. So you better do it yourself before you go into the market. Right. What am I talking about? Right. Yeah. So altcoins, like, do not hold altcoins during a bear market. Like, please, for the love of goddamn God, like, please do not hold altcoins in the bear market. Or, like, I'm not saying that this is the bear market, but it might be the beginning of the bear market, especially if Bitcoin kind of breaks out and retests 50K and continues to go to the downside. Bitcoin might actually, start a bear market, and you don't want to be holding altcoins in a market condition like that. I don't know if you guys remember Dragon Chain from 2017-18. Let me show you that one. Let me Dragon Chain. So I remember Dragon Chain. I do remember Dragon Chain. So this was like one of the coolest product ever, right? Remember going in quite heavily in the beginning of 2018, and I'm like, I'm going to make a shit ton of money on this. And I mean, it's already up like 300 million%, but I don't give a fuck. Like, this is gonna make me a millionaire. So and because it had solid fundamentals, right? It looked really, really good, and it looked like it's just gonna take over the blockchain world, right? And yeah, 99% down, So when you feel like you found a beautiful product, when you feel like you find the right thing to hold, and you're like, I'm gonna hold this for 10 years and I'm gonna retire, look at this shot and remember that everyone was buying this shit. This was all over Twitter in 2018. Every goddamn trader was buying this one and chilling this to the moon, and this was the best shit ever. Right. So just remember that when you decide to hold an altcoin because you think it's the new, the big thing, like ADA, like Cardano, like, like it might just drop 99% in the next couple of months if we went to bear market. So please do not hold altcoins in downtrend. Altcoins are for trading. Bitcoin is for holding, right? Bitcoin is for holding. Altcoins are for trading. Get quick in and out to make some money. And that's why I'm only basically holding altcoins. I mean, no, not altcoins, Bitcoin. I mean, holding Bitcoin. I need some coffee. Let's go back to Sol. Yeah, so if Sol breaks below 33K, $33, $34, that you would not want to be a holder of this. However, if Bitcoin bounces at range low and we see a nice bounce on Sol here, this might be a good buying opportunity. However, I think the best buying opportunity would be above a break and retest of the 40 area. That would be nice. I would like that. Buy the break and retest of the $40 area up to 48. That would be pretty cool. What else do we have? Let's do some questions. Ask me anything. Probably not going to answer everything, but you're free to. I just took a look at that one. All right. We expect to see Bitcoin at 31K. Like, okay, no. So I'm always getting questions like this, right? Do you expect Bitcoin to be at 30K? Do you expect Bitcoin to be at 100K? Do you expect Bitcoin to do this and that, right? The only thing I'm expecting, like, it's very like it's very important to remember this. Like what you can't approach the market in such a way like you look at the chart like, I think Bitcoin is going to 30K. So what you do in this case is you ignore this level, right? So the best way to look at current price action is like, the only thing I expect to happen is for price and the market. Like I expect the market to do whatever, right? I expect the market to do whatever. I expect the market to surprise me. I expect the market to just be weird, right? But the only thing I know, right, and the only thing I know is what I'm going to do, right? So I expect myself to follow my own plan and my own rules. So what I do is I expect Bitcoin to hit 37K. I expect Bitcoin to hit 34K. I expect Bitcoin to do whatever, right? But what I do know and what I do know for a fact is what I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do here, and what I'm going to do here. So the key is to have lots of different plans, and whatever price action does, you have a plan for that scenario, right? So if Bitcoin bounces here, I will buy and I will take profit here and here. If Bitcoin has a very clear rejection at this area, I might be a seller and I will take profit here and here because it's in a range. Sorry. If we break and retest this area, I will be a buyer on the retest for a move up to 50. If we break below this area, I will be most likely a buyer here on a confirmed bounce, take profit here, here, and here, and then repeat this setup. If Bitcoin fails to hold this area, I will not be a buyer. I will only be a buyer when we have a clear sign of a bottom formation down here or a range. I could trade that range. Now, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin is trading at 100 million or $10. I'm still going to approach price action in exactly the same way. The number that one Bitcoin is worth does not matter to me at all. All that matters is, where is the closest resistance and the closest support, and where and how does what is the market structure telling me, right? So, yeah, do I expect Bitcoin to hit 31K? No, I can't do that really because we have levels in the way. I do, however, think that the probability of Bitcoin hitting 34K is higher than 37K because of the fact that it's an untested level and we are on a local downtrend. Matic, let's look at Matic. Matic USDT. There we go. Yeah. I really hope you're not asking me to short these altcoins because you're holding them. Because if you're holding them, you should not be holding altcoins in a market like this. Absolutely not. Matic might be in the long RC here. Of the latest up move, which is interesting, definitely. So what I would be looking at for Matic here is some type of market structure break, basically. I'm gonna put one down here, one above here. So we'll look at the current market structure is obviously bearish, right? Something like this. Obviously, it's not perfect, but this is how it looks. So what are we looking at in terms of breaking market structure? Well, obviously, we're looking for something like this, right? I would go long on the higher low, right? So if we get something like this, I would look to go long here, probably something like that. Take profit would be here, here, and here. So that would be the trade. And this is only going to happen if Bitcoin finds a bottom, right? ADA, let's look at ADA. Yeah, so ADA is actually in a high time frame uptrend. I like this. We keep hitting this support area right here. it's a pretty major, like a big zone, but in percentage wise, it's quite big. But market structure kind of it needs to be this big to incorporate all the retests and the breakouts and all that on the higher time frames. So on 88, we need to see some type of bounce here, right? I would like to see a break in market structure here, like this, probably. So that's what I'm looking at on 88. So if Bitcoin, if 88 can get above 1.6, I would be interested in going long, most likely, maybe. Sorry, man, I don't really understand the question, but like, why am I not shorting alts versus BTC instead of alts versus USDT? Yeah, so if because I'm more interested in, all right, so I'm more interested in going long Bitcoin. So I'm more interested in going long Bitcoin, and because I'm more interested in going long Bitcoin, I think there's a higher probability for Bitcoin to go up as compared to down. And if Bitcoin goes up, all coins in USDT value will also go up, but all coins in BTC value will also will go down, right? However, if Bitcoin right now with the current market structure, I think it makes sense to trade all coins versus USDT. All right, guys, we got a couple of minutes left before we end this webinar. So I'm going to take a look at Link, Dot, and Wi-Fi BTC. Link. Yeah, this is not really looking good. We're back inside the long RLC, but it's already been tested quite a lot. So on Link here, I would look at a break in market structure. And this, it might be the RLC within an RLC here. Yeah, so this is actually pretty good. You have this is perfect. So check this out. You have the high time frame RLC here. So this is the high time frame RLC, and then the medium to low time frame RLC is right on the 618. So the middle of that RLC is right on the middle of this reload zone. The low time frame reload zone is confluent with the 618 of the high time frame reload zone, which is just beautiful. So I'm going to start saying reload zone instead of RLC because apparently I pronounce it weirdly. So you guys think I say ROC, but it's RLZ, I guess. So bearish market structure down inside the reload zone. What I would like to see is this, right? I would go long in a break and retest of the 23 area. So I'm putting some alerts here. Well, that's absolutely false. You see me doing TA every day. Like, I don't know why all TA are destroyed. Like, that's all absolutely false. There might be manipulation going on, but like it's the levels are very clear. The TA is working. The TA is always going to work. It's not like there's some big whales and institutions coming in and manipulating price and they're just taking over the whole market and TA is not going to work. Like, it always works. It always works in all markets. It's the fact that you're saying stuff like this just means that you're not on top of your game when it comes to the technical analysis. It's just the people that say that TA is not possible on Bitcoin and the crypto market right now because of manipulation. That's just an excuse. That's just a bad excuse, right? There's always going to be manipulation in all markets, big and small. Like it doesn't matter. The horizontal support and resistance are still going to get respected either way. So it's like that's just a bad excuse for like if you're looking at going longs, like if you want to enter longs and you just get stopped out all the time, well then maybe go short, right? If it's a downtrend, go short and try that. It's just I'm seeing comments like manipulation. Like the whales are manipulating the market. I can't trade. And the market is against me. They're just taking. It wants to take my money. It wants to punish me or whatever. Well, I'm making money. I'm successful trading this market. So with TA only. So it's like it's all about experience. And I've been in this market before. I've been in the bear market before. Like I learned to trade in the bear market. It's not like. So please don't use excuses like that. Just if you lose money and you think it's hard to trade this market, you just got to work harder and figure it out. And if you can't do that, maybe trading is not for you. Well, let's do DOT. Right, so DOT is actually quite interesting. I really do like this. Really do like this, right? Inside the long run. So here, this is definitely a good candidate for a buy on break and retest. So what I would do for DOT here is I would look for a break and retest of this area right here, which is the, let's say 23 to 24. So break and retest of the 23 to 24 area for DOT would be quite interesting. So I'm adding an alert right there. Yeah, that works out. Wi-Fi BTC. Well, I think I think the news and the fundamental, like the stuff that goes around, happens around the world, the macroeconomics and the big fundamental news, they are definitely going to move the market, right? They are definitely going to move the market, right? So they are like, in my opinion, that's the reason why a market is moving, right? But it doesn't mean that TA isn't working, right? Obviously, the best combination is FA and TA. I personally choose to only do TA because I suck at fundamental analysis. I don't know what I'm reading half of the time, so I just do the TA, right? But the interesting thing here is if price is trading again between a very strong support and a very strong resistance, and a very bearish news comes out, right? It's going to dump, right? Now, the TA might not have been able to predict the dump because the fundamental news might have been very unexpected, like a natural, like a hurricane or flooding, miners, whatever, something like that. It obviously wouldn't have been predictable using TA. But the predictable part with TA comes when price dumps and hits the support, right? Or when anything bullish comes out, something totally unexpected news comes out and makes price pump. Well, it's most likely going to pump up to resistance, right? So that's where TA comes in, right? That's where TA comes in. So if it hits that support on the bearish news, you might want to be a buyer, right? If it hits that resistance with the bullish news and it keeps getting reacted, you might be a seller. So it's like TA is not going to tell you what's going to happen, but TA will tell you that if something happens, you will be quite sure that the price will hit either of those levels, right? So that's why I like TA. It's like if bullish news comes out, you want to be a buyer and then sell at resistance, something like that. Or when bearish news comes out, you want to be a seller and buy at support. Wi-Fi BTC, interesting support right here. Interesting support area right there. I like this. It's that strong support. Look for break in market structure. So I mean, you got a pretty clear market structure here. Very bearish, obviously. Yeah, that makes no sense. So what I'm looking for here is, this is on the 1 hour, 4 hour. Just wait for, something like this. A break and retest of the 1.04 probably for Wi-Fi BTC. All right, guys, I actually really have to go. So I would like to thank you all for joining, and please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And thanks for joining, everyone. Now, if you have any questions for me, please, you can send me a DM on Twitter or DM me on Discord. But the best thing to do if you want my help with anything, or you want my advice on anything, sign up for the free trial, right? So the birbnest.com/free trial, and you will be able to join for 7 days free, and you can get all the help you want from me, and you will have the daily Bitcoin updates and the daily streams like this one. We do these every day in the Birb Nest. All right, guys, take care, and see you guys in the next one.